A wanderer in a world his thoughts have made, he turns in a chiaroscuro of error and truth to find a wisdom that on high is his.
So we have the divine as a wanderer
Mm.
in a world that his thoughts have made. So why is he a wanderer in this world his thoughts have made? Can you tell me that?
A wanderer in a world.
See, he has decided to play a game with himself.
Mm.
And he has thrown out of himself all this creation, huge, vast creation. And he has to find himself in this creation.
Mm.
He has to find other aspects of himself in this game of creation. So
Mm.
he is a wanderer who's looking in a world that his thoughts have made. He's turning in this light and dark chiaroscuro, we call, of error and truth. And why? To find a wisdom that on high, at the heights, is his wisdom.
Mm.
So he's going to continue with this theme for quite a while now.
As one forgetting, he searches for himself. As if he had lost an inner light he seeks.
No,
As
no, you see, there's a colon after that. So it's almost as if he had lost an inner light he seeks. He's seeking.
as if he had lost an inner light, he seeks, as a sojourner lingering amid alien scenes, he journeys to a home he knows no more.
So he doesn't know what this earth is like anymore. He journeys to this home. See? He's a sojourner. A sojourner is a visitor, a temporary resident. The divine is a temporary resident in his own home. It's so it's so lovely. Now what is he doing? His own
His, his own self's truth he seeks, who is his own self's truth he seeks, who is the truth.
ah,
He is the player who became the play. He is the thinker who became the thought. He is the many who was the silent one.
so what the divine has done in manifestation. At this height, he's one. But then he comes down and breaks into the many, the one becoming the many. And of course, we are the many who have to become the one. So beautiful. So he's the player, capital P, player, divine, who became the play. He is the thinker, capital T, thinker, divine, who became the thought. He is the many because he is in everything, in each of us, in the stone, in the clay. He is the many, but he was one time the silent one, the transcendent Purusha.
In the symbol figures of the cosmic force, and in her living and inanimate signs, and in her complex tracery of events, he explores the ceaseless miracle of himself, till the thousandfold enigma has been solved in the single light of an all witnessing soul.
So beautiful, so beautiful. So, in these symbol figures that the cosmic force has thrown out, and everything in life is a symbol, we're all symbols. And in her living and inanimate signs, So there are inanimate signs also. Um, Dead matter, soil, mud, clay, and in her complex tracery of events. Tracery is networks. In her complex networks of events, the divine, he, explores the ceaseless miracle of himself until this thousandfold enigma, puzzle of course, has been solved. Until that, until then, it has to be solved in the single light of an all witnessing soul. So we who are Him must rise to the supramental and above. So there is that single light of an all witnessing soul. We are the all witnessing soul as well. He would not have created us otherwise.
Mm.
Okay.
This was his compact with his mighty mate, for love of her, and joined to her forever, to follow the course of time's eternity. Amid magic dramas of her sudden moods, and the surprises of her masked idea, and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice.
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 So what we are saying here, seeing here, is this aspect of the Purusha and the creatrix or Prakriti. So he has a compact with her. He calls her his mighty mate. For love of her and joined to her forever. Why? To follow this course of time's eternity. Time has an eternity. And we cannot understand that with the human mind. For us, time is in sections. Last night, today, tomorrow, 1,000 years from now, million years from now. We are always measuring time. And also this magic drama of the sudden moods. We can say that here, Prakriti is nature, capital N. And the surprises of her masked idea. Now, this idea, I have to read a little bit to you on the supramental manifestation. The idea is the realization of a truth in consciousness, as the fact is its realization in power. The idea is not a reflection of the eternal fact, which it so much exceeds. Rather, the fact is only a partial reflection of the idea which has created it. Supramental manifestation, both of those. And notice that he capitalizes idea. And he often uses real idea as a synonym of the supramental. He calls it the gnosis, he calls it the real idea, and sometimes he calls it the supramental or supermind. He was a little bit hesitant to use the word too often because of Nietzsche and his Superman. Okay, and then we have finally the vicissitudes of her vast caprice. Now, vicissitudes are changes or variations in the course of something. So nature is full of vicissitudes. She destroys this thing to create something new. I've told you about the dinosaurs. She created them, she got rid of them, and she found something new. And nature would take 1,000,000 years or millions of years, and she would reach the supramental. because she is Prakriti. But because Mother has made a pact with her, now nature is helping us very quickly. I see it in horticulture every day, every day. So we have these vicissitudes, these changing phases or conditions, and we have these caprices, which are fancies or whims. So it's a beautiful line, and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice. And we can move on. Next page, then. This is 69.
Two seem his goals, yet ever are they one, and gaze at each other over boneless time.
Bornless, bornless.
Boneless time.
Can I hear it again?
Boneless.
A little more on the bornless. Bornless.
Boneless time.
So, two do seem his goals, and still they're one. And they look at each other over this bornless time. Bornless time is a limitless time, a time without limit.
Spirit and matter are their end and source.
Now, this is very interesting because spirit is their source. Spirit and matter is their end. When spirit unites with matter, finally, that will be their end and source. So spirit and matter are their end, the end of creation, the end of Purusha Prakriti's work, are their end and source. And we'll go on a little bit.
A seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms, of the Great Mother's wide uncharted will, and the root
Now, it's
uncharted.
uncharted, not mapped out.
Yeah. A seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms, of the Great Mother's wide, uncharted will, and the rude enigma of her terrestrial ways. He is the explorer and the mariner
Mariner.
on a secret inner ocean without bourne.
Okay. Two
yeah.
more lines.
He is the adventurer and cosmologist of a magic Earth's obscure geography.
So, very, very interesting. Very fascinating. I just love this passage. We had spirit and matter being the end and source. So they're the creative aspects of Prakriti with the support of the divine Purusha. This seeker of hidden meanings in the forms of life. Because we don't see things as they truly are. Can I see your soul? No. So I'm a seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms, of the Great Mother's wide, uncharted will, not mapped out, and the rude enigma, the rude puzzle of her terrestrial ways. Why all of this creation and destruction? Well, you have that in your Indian gods, the one who creates, the one who preserves, and the one who destroys. So I won't go into that. He is the explorer and the mariner. Mariner is a seaman, a sailor, on a secret inner ocean without bourne, without limit. And he is also the adventurer and the cosmologist. He studies the entire cosmos. as a totality of phenomena in time and space. He is the adventurer and cosmologist of this magic Earth's obscure geography. Wow. Okay, carry on.
In her material order's fixed design, where all seems sure and, even when changed, the same, even though the end is left forever unknown, and ever unstable is life's shifting flow, his paths are found for him by silent fate. As stations in the age's weltering flood, firm lands appear that tempt and stay awhile, then new horizons lure the mind's advance.
Oh, quite interesting. So, in this material order of the universe with its fixed design, in other words, you're not going to change into a deer tomorrow. There's a material order's fixed design. And we see that almost everything is fixed. I mean, from the mosquito, and from the gecko, and from the turtle, there's a fixed design. And everything seems sure, but even when it's changed, it's still the same. Why? Because everything is vibrational. We are all vibrations of some frequency. And even though the end is left forever unknown, and even though life's shifting flow is unstable, his paths are found for him by silent fate. And then he says, as stations, positions, places, rank, stations in the age's weltering flood. Something that is weltering is rolling or tossing about, surging. Waves can be weltering. And then firm lands appear that tempt and stay a while. Remember, he's an explorer and he's a mariner. So he's a seaman and he's on this secret ocean without any limit. But he's also the adventurer and cosmologist. He wants to know all about this magic Earth's obscure geography. And then all these things happen when the end is not ever forever unknown and life's shifting flow is unstable. His paths are found for him by silent fate. And as stations in the weltering flood, rolling, tossing, raging, surging flood, firm lands appear that tempt and stay a while. But because he is a mariner and an explorer, he's not going to stay there. And then we see that new horizons lure the mind's advance. Okay, carry on, a little more.
There comes no close to the finite's boundlessness. There is no last certitude in which thought can pause, and no terminus to the soul's experience.
Obviously, there is no close to the finite's boundlessness. Mother says, even when we reach the supermind, we can still evolve further. There's still Satchit Ananda and worlds beyond. So there's no last certitude in which the mind can say, I know this definitely. And this has been the problem of science. And now science has been blown apart recently. Blown apart by this new discovery. There is no Big Bang thing anymore. They're really thrown by it. And there is no terminus. Terminus is an end, of course. Terminal, bus terminal, train terminal. No terminus to the soul's experience. And now you have to read because I'm getting close to my Savitri Sunday. So please read from the beginning.
Yeah. A wanderer in a world his thoughts have made, he turns in a chiaroscuro of error and truth to find a wisdom that on high is his. As one forgetting, he searches for himself. As if he had lost an inner light, he seeks. As a sojourner lingering amid alien scenes, he journeys to a home he knows no more. His own self's truth he seeks, who is the truth. He is the player who became the play. He is the thinker who became the thought. He is the many who was the silent one. In the symbol figures of the cosmic force, and in her living and inanimate signs, and in her complex tracery of events, he explores the ceaseless miracle of himself, till the thousandfold enigma has been solved in the single light of an all-witnessing soul. This was his compact with his mighty mate, for love of her and joined to her forever, to follow the course of time's eternity. Amid magic dramas of her sudden moods and the surprises of her masked idea and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice. Two seem his goals, yet ever are they one, and gaze at each other over boundless time. Spirit and matter are their end and source. A seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms, of the Great Mother's wide, uncharted will, and the rude enigma of, of her terrestrial ways, he is the explorer and the mariner on a secret inner ocean without bourne. He is the adventurer and cosmologist of a magic Earth's obscure geography. In her material order's fixed design, where all seems sure and, even when changed, the same, even though the end is left forever unknown and ever unstable in life's shifting flow, his paths are found for him by silent fate. As stations in the age's weltering flood, firm lands appear that tempt and stay awhile, then new horizons lure the mind's advance. There comes no close to the finite's boundlessness. There is no last certitude in which thought can pause, and no terminus to the soul's experience.
Good reading. I have to run.
Yes, thank you so much.
Namaste.